back. Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
You know, you're just like an animal. You know, you cut it with the knife.
That was an interesting
solo.
It wasn't even a solo by the end. It was literally just as if they'd shot it and it hadn't stopped twitching. You're listening to... Well, sorry, it was the first analogy that sprang to mind. You're listening to Toad and Ruth's Toad and Ruth show, obviously, with Toad and Ruth.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to play 4 session tracks, I reckon, over the course of the next hour and a bit.
Yeah.
What do you want to start with?
I think we're going to start with Bird and a Bear. And I have this coat that's this big coat. And if you flip it inside out, it looks like I shot Big Bird and made a coat out of him. And it was the first sunny day in Portland. Portland's very similar to Edinburgh. And it was the first sunny day, and I had my coat inside out, and then I had my short running shorts on, and so I had these white chickeny legs. But I was running around the city, and everyone, I just looked up, and everyone was laughing at me. Literally, everyone was laughing at me. And I was like, jerks. And then I ran by this store, and I saw myself with my little chicken legs running with this coat on, and so I laughed. Ran home as fast as I possibly could, and then wrote the song. So
that's the best story for a song that I think I've ever heard. It was ridiculous, but brilliant.
What's it called again? Bird
and a Bear.
I never learned how to spin plates on sticks, but I have a coat that makes me look just like a bird. Just like a bird. Whenever I go running in it, people they smile, especially when I put them feet in the air. But I
I could get big table out.
Maybe try to project less.
Okay. Just don't sing.
No, it sounds good.
I know you cut it with a knife. Maybe not while we're recording. So no late shots, please. That's you, mister. Are we good?
Toad session number 11, this one. This is, I suppose officially this is the day Song by Toad Records officially sells out and starts. You guys are the first Song by Toad Records band to do a Toad session. We did one with Merceau, but that was before they were a Toad Records band. There's usually about 6 of you. You've only travelled with 2, so it's a bit of a... And you've drafted in a new member to help out with stuff. So how representative is this of the band? It's quite a sort of a weird situation, isn't it?
It's totally representative of the band. We go up and down, just depending on where we're at and what we're doing. It started this way, and it's okay if it goes from a full band to just a simplified version. I still think the songs still carry the weight they would have with the full band. It's just a little bit more dynamic and interesting with the full band, but depends on if you like simple music or it's just, much more layered and complicated songs. So.
But is that a function of how you started, or is that a function of the Portland music scene? Because you're saying in Portland everybody seems to play in about half a dozen bands anyway.
Yeah.
So is that forced on you then by the fact that people sometimes just aren't available?
Yeah, that, and you know, they're on tour with their other bands, or having babies, or whatever. Life happens. So, but we have to keep going forward.
We'll start with the first track. This is Blood Bank. This is a relatively old song, actually, isn't it?
Actually, it's a brand new song,
what?
Matthew. Brand new.
Oh, you sent me mixes of it about a year ago, didn't you?
Yeah, it hasn't been released yet. It's going to be on our second full-length record, Little Me Will Start a Storm.
Which is due?
It's due, like, fall 2010.
And oh, you're just like a muscle, and oh, you cut it with a knife, and oh, you ball just like a tendon, and oh, you cut it with a knife, and oh, you're just like a mudbank kid, and oh, and oh, it's gonna split you like a muscle, and oh, you cut it with a knife, and oh, a house on a hill, and oh, swept away by the people on a pier.
But on Night Bats, your sort of recent EP, you reworked Spine, and you're saying that on the new record you're reworking another old song.
Yeah.
Is there a particular reason that you're revisiting some of your older tunes? Or?
I Love Me was on Lament for Children, and you know, we sold like a couple thousand of those, but that was a while ago, and we decided just to kind of like revisit it and kind of rework it, and I think it sounds great.
Is this because the band itself has changed and you're hearing new things based on what the other people in the band are bringing?
Yeah, it's new for them, you know. It's a couple years old, but it was new for them, and when I started playing it, they just did a better job than I did originally. So.
And his friends think it's funny to watch him worry about himself. And he thinks it's funny not to worry about your health.
But for your own perspective, I mean, is this behind starting the Woods? You realised you were a lifer musician, so if music wasn't going to pay you a massive wage, you'd have to find a professional job of some sort that was music related. Was that part of the same kind of realisation, or was that a separate thing?
I wish my brain would work that way. No, I don't have safety nets in my brain, so I started the Woods because. With friends that agree that it's not that hard to treat bands well. It's not that hard to have a nice environment where people have a good time. It's not that hard to be organized.
Is it that hard? Or
no, it's not. It's easy to treat bands well, and so many venues mess that up.
And that seems like as good a note to draw this to a close as any. A little bit like the Found Toad session last year, it is blazing sunshine outside and we have a barbecue waiting for us. So we're going to record your last song, and we're going to go outside and we're going to have some drinks in the sun. Meat.